Hello, my name is Catherine Lewis, and this is my mini folio for part 4, Developing My Ideas in Personal Specialism. The theme of my proposal is to create discussion about the menopause and challenge the taboo surrounding it. It's led me on a very personal journey using my own experiences and feelings in my art. When I finished assignment 3, I'd created 4 samples which strengthened my ideas. These were in different fabrics, and it made me to decide what I should leave and what I should continue on with. Some of the fabrics I have left I will look at in my future work, but what I wanted to do was concentrate and get a voice through my personal specialism. I found my sketchbooks very, very invaluable, working through my thought processes and giving me freedom to forward ideas into sampling. I chose A3 sketchbooks scaled up from the A5 I've been using, and this gave me greater freedom, I think, and allowed me to do lots more collage work and just put down any thought process, brainstorming. In the top large photograph, you can see diary segments on torn painted paper, put next to just pen drawings, images and patterns, and just washed over with paint. This was something that I wanted to look at and just be free with my ideas of how I wanted line work and colour work to work together. I kept a tight colour palette, and this did enable me to experiment more. In the bottom photograph, there is a photograph of a woman encased in fabric. This is a very strong image and a metaphor for a woman being encased by heat in a night sweat as well. So it's something that I replicated through ideas in my sketchbook and on my final piece. In portraiture, I felt it was important to try to understand how I feel and look to myself and both at the outside world. Some of my self-portraiture is very raw in pastels and pencil crayon and watercolours. And this is how I felt to the outside world through being tired and emotionally drained. And I felt it was important to log into how I was feeling and put that down on paper in order to understand how I wanted to create emotion and feeling within my work. In sampling, I looked at different ways to create imagery about tiredness and heat from the night sweats, and again bringing a rawness into stitching this time rather than painting, in the way that I put together the stitches on some of my applique work. One of my favourite samples is the eye in the top right hand corner, using different fabrics and embroidery to create heaviness of the skin around, and an effort that it requires to keep the eyes open. Its particular sample is also important, as from this I now had confidence to scale up my work, and the use of embroidery and applique has developed. It was never in my intention to use these forms of textiles at the beginning of the course, it just developed on how I wanted to be able to use fabrics and the way that I could interpret stitch to create what my feelings were, and I found that very useful. This final slide shows my quilt, which I eventually called the coverlet because it doesn't have wadding inside. But the decision to go for a quilt was logical, really. After speaking to my tutor, this is where the woman experiences night sweats and sleepless nights. And also quilts have a very historical meaning. You know, they tell stories, the narratives of the ordinary person, and they are modest and humble in their outlook. And it was a real link in to how the ordinary person is feeling. So in these photos, my coverlet isn't finished, but it's showing the large image in the centre of the strong woman looking to the future. And that's what I wanted to start and base the basis on, and put smaller imagery of symptoms and feelings around it, and show fragility in more smaller pieces, and then strengthen it in the larger pieces. So I found working on in this way really, really passionate and interesting, and I've found my voice through just working through my sketchbooks, working through ideas, just words, anything that came to mind, and progressing through sampling to the final piece. So it's been a really good journey, and moved my work on as a practitioner. Thank you very much.